Are we all recovered? Kelly, all good? Back in the room? Everyone here, everyone there, everyone everywhere. Toby will get great. There's not a lot left. No. Sorry. This is the special Summit blend. There's one from the back of the cupboard from 4 years ago. There's a Heinz one, yes. Hello. Good morning. How are we all? Are we well? Are we all good? Good. So, this is not going to be your usual chat about what macros are, what your calories are, how to get to where you need to, because we've done that with the majority of you in a one-to-one. So it's not going to be, this is a calorie, this is a carbohydrate, this is protein, because we harp on about that enough. So hopefully by the end of this, you'll have a little bit more motivation to look after your nutrition and a bit more of an understanding as to why it's going to be so important to probably, for a lot of you, eat more to lose more fat. So just for a very quick show of hands, who is looking to lose fat? There are a very select few people among the group who really do just want to get strong. And theirs is ever so slightly different, but it all comes from the same concepts. So if you're thinking, oh, you just want to lose fat, there are two very different ways to do it. I could get you all to lose 10 kilos in a matter of weeks. Sounds nice, right? But you would hate me. And none of you would be training anymore, which is selfishly not very good for me. Or Toby. I think Toby likes his job. So we need to keep you all training. And the goal isn't to lose as much weight as possible. There are times where you want to lose weight and there are times where you want to maintain and just healthily decrease your calories, healthily drop down in body fat. Okay. So as I said, this is not going to be one of those, this is a calorie. This is how many calories you should eat. If you eat chicken and rice all day, you will look like this. So we're going to go away from that and hopefully it's going to be arming you with the tools that you need to actually think, why am I doing this? Okay, there's a better reason. Because we all like a glass of wine at the weekend. We all like chocolate, cake. Yeah, look, everyone's like, well, yeah, wine, I'm in. I'm sold. Talk about wine and we're there, we're locked in. So, why does it matter? For most of us, as I've just said, we all know that if you lift weights, you're going to grow muscle. And a lot of you turn up here every week under the proviso that we help you lift weights and you get some muscle. That's our little deal we've got going on. And then a lot of you go, oh, I'd also like to look a little bit better though. And that's also fine because that's what we're here for. But unfortunately, they don't always go hand in hand. So if you're not fueling correctly for your sessions, you are not going to grow any muscle. And therefore, we're kind of in this downward reverse of not growing any muscle, feeling really worn out, and actually not enjoying training as much because we're not getting what we want out of it. Just make sure I've got everything said that I need to say. I'm not very good at public speaking, despite having a large mouth. And you're doing a very good job at making the coffee. Thank you. So, much like your nutrition, if you don't do it properly, you might as well not do it at all. So, every time you train, a couple of things go on. We, as I said, get you in here to lift weights. A lot of you have come back after saying, I want to, again, a lot of people will say tone up. A lot of you in our one-to-ones, I want to tone up. What does tone up mean to some of you? Like, what does it mean to be toned? More definition, less flabby, less flobby, more definition. And that's all it is. A lot of people go, I want to be toned, but toned isn't really a thing. It's just a composition, okay? So what you've really asked us is you want more muscle and less fat. And there's two things that go hand in hand. Your body is made up of layers of stuff, from bone to skin. We've got a GP in here. And I'm about to butcher. You're made up of bone and skin. That's it. In between it, there are layers of stuff. Yeah, it's just, I don't know why we're going into this. There are layers of fat, there's a layer of water, and there's a layer of muscle. To see what's on top, if you have a big layer of fat and water, the little layer of muscle on the bottom is not going to show through. So therefore, you are not going to be toned. You might feel a little bit flabby. However, if we have a big layer of muscle on the bottom and a smaller layer of fat and water on top, then everything's going to show through a little bit more. So that's why we're so eager for you guys to try and eat to look better and to feel better. It's not about just getting the number on the scales to drop down, because that isn't necessarily the best reflection of what you want out of this. And the toned phrase, I want to see the number go down on the scales. There are certain times where the number does need to go down on the scales. That's the first thing, okay? If you have there's some objectives that I'll say. If you have excess fat, you need to get the number on the scale to go down. If you are already quite slight, but you want to see a bit more and you just feel like you've got, a lot of people say, I've got a fluffy layer. I've got a layer of fluff on top. And that is where actually most of the time, those people need to just build a bit more muscle, just to bulk everything out a bit, okay? And that's where we're going to fuel a little bit more. So, any questions so far? Anything that we're not? Every time you do a session, your body, when you finish and when you rest, and this is going to lead into the next seminar, which is the training intensity one. Every time you rest, your body goes through a little checklist. It goes, am I relaxed? Have I got enough fuel to repair my body? And have I got enough calories to do that repair? So, your calories at the end of the day are just energy. It's just a metric of energy. Exactly like it says on the ergs. It's how much energy you've burnt. Again, we can go to the science of it, but it doesn't matter to you guys. You don't need to know that. It's just a unit of energy. And you use energy to repair your muscles once you've done a workout. Pretty simple. If you do not have enough energy to repair the muscles, then the hour of lifting weights is less effective, let's say. We want to be able to push the training session really hard and then recover even harder. A lot of times, you'll see a lot of people say, if your training's at 100%, your recovery should be at 150%. You should always be looking to recover more, which is, again, from a gym's point of view, we're actually asking you to do less to get more. And when you're here, actually, I'm not going to say that, because there's a question in a minute, and it's a really obvious question, but I'm going to put it on the board anyway, and you're going to go, well, that's obvious. But a lot of you will think, I don't really do that. And a slight side point on that is if you came to Harriet's menopause chat, you would have known that she was speaking about the amount of time for pre, post-menopausal women, and the amount of time you need to refuel after or around a session is really, really important. Because you basically have an hour window before your muscle just goes, oh, I haven't repaired myself. See you later. And then it's gone. And that's where a lot of people fall down. Okay? A lot of people will train really hard, but they're not repairing their body enough. And actually, when you train, you are causing a little bit of damage to your muscle. It's that stretch, squeeze cycle. You're stretching your fibers out, and then they're going, oh, yeah, that hurts. And that's what your DOMs are. It's just your body repairing itself. And if you're not getting that repair, you'll find you ache for a lot longer. You can't train as hard, and then you're not actually getting back as much as you thought you were. Back to the menopausal chat, it's 1 hour after your training session. So I know Tracy, we mentioned yesterday, I mentioned about having a little protein shake before and after. Just have everything you do should be based around your training. And it's a really good way to start. It's a really good way to start building your nutrition out, is if you train 3 times a week, just start with the hour before and the hour after your training. There's a 3-hour window that we want you to look at. Am I going to be fueled for this? Am I going to recover for this? And that's a really healthy way to start, because I'd like to say you all really enjoy training. And you enjoy the social side, but you also want to get the results out. So actually, if you're here, just dedicate your 1 hour, make it 3 hours. And I'm not saying if you come at 6 in the morning, you have to be up at 5, eating your scrambled eggs, but be conscious the night before. What are you doing the night before that's going to get me ready for the next day? Are you going to bed early enough? If you're going to bed at 2 in the morning, and again, kids, everything pops up. Everything's got a little bit of a caveat. But are you resting enough? Are you fueled for your session? Are you recovering after your session? Okay? So, what do we got next? Too far. Thank you. Eating. I've skipped it. There you go. eating to lose fat. Your muscles, this is good. I thought this analogy last night. You've got to buy muscles. They're not free. You don't have to buy them with money, but you do have to buy them with calories. So your body is like one big bank account. It's like you as an individual. You put money in and you buy some muscle. So your calories are what repairs it. If you don't have enough cash in the bank, you are not going to be splurging on buying more muscle. It's like your own bank account, like with a mortgage. You're not going to buy a car, a flash car, 50 grand and think, oh, I can't afford my mortgage this week, because you're not going to get anywhere. You need to make sure you're doing little by little, and this is what it is, this bit at the bottom. It's a long-term, sustainable diet, and it is a diet all-encompassing, not a fad, not a, I'm going to do keto this week, because every single fad diet you see online is basically a version of a calorie deficit. Fasting is not eating between the hours of 12 and 12, which means it's really hard to get enough calories in to be in a surplus, have too many, because you've only got 12 hours to eat them in, and you're asleep for 8 of those hours. So you've got 4 hours to cram as much food in as possible, and you're starving for the rest of the day. That, to me, doesn't sound very enjoyable. What does sound enjoyable is eating when I'm hungry, eating around my training to make sure I can train as hard as possible, and then enjoying the food that I am eating. So you're making more conscious choices. At the start, again, this sort of 6-week challenge that we're doing, it's designed to give you that kickstart. So you do the first 6 weeks, and you should drop pretty quickly, because you're on it. You're locked in. You've got 6 weeks. I'll do this for 6 weeks. I'm going to try really hard for 6 weeks. And we'll see the body fat does come down. But again, as with everything, it's always going to plateau. And then you'll find a happy point where you kind of go up and down. You might go 2 or 3 kilos up or down either side, depending on your body weight. That is perfectly reasonable. And then if you want to get down to a lower body fat percentage, you then have to do another big deficit. But in general, what we'd really like to see is a really small deficit for a really long time. And then over time, over 6 months, 12 months, that's when you start to see the results come through. You're building muscle over that time. Muscle, annoyingly, takes a very, very long time to build. So as we do it with a small deficit, we then start to build some more muscle. We keep going, okay? And over time, you just kind of bounce through. So, this is going to be my question. What is going to see better results? Fueling for your session and giving 110%? Or is it going to be feeling fatigued and missing out on the required intensity? You would have noticed in your training sessions recently, we've been a little bit more, go on, you can get a bit more. You can get a bit more. Because that's where we're going to see some really good results. So, I'm not going to ask you all to put your hands up, because if anyone puts their hand up for B, you're out. That's it, you're gone. You want to feel energized for your session. You want to feel like you can get the most out of that hour as possible. And that's why we're kind of saying that around your session, if you can just focus on the fuel there, you're going to be in a really good position. Okay? Any questions, any thoughts, any feelings?
What are you meant to have before a session?
A protein shake's really good. Yes. Yeah. So protein builds your muscles. And what we want to do is we want to avoid the loss of muscle. So you're giving your body a little bit of fuel to digest beforehand and go, oh, we're going to use this in our session. And then anything carb related. So a banana's great. Wrong person. Any bars, any like Nature Valley bars, any breakfast bars, any carb sources.
And what would you say was the sort of latest time that someone comes to say what would be the latest time to have that?
To be honest, it's personal, and it depends on how much. I can eat about 3 minutes before a session and be fine. And some people will go, I can't eat an hour before. Some people, it's a drive-in. Some people, I eat halfway through my session sometimes. Like,
I've seen Pat whipping a ready meal halfway.
oh, I'm a bit peckish now. It really is personal preference.
But if I'm in a calorie deficit,
Yes.
that before would have to replace my breakfast.
Not replace. Just, you're going to have to adapt what it is you're eating. You need to maybe spread it out a bit more. So maybe you're having your let's say, eggs on toast for breakfast. 2 hours before your session, maybe you have half a bit of toast for breakfast and then half a bit of toast just before your session. And maybe a sip of a protein shake. Protein shakes also usually have carbs in them as well, which is why they're really good. So they kind of are quite all-encompassing. Orange, great. Haribo's. Haribo's are really good. No, agreed. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Anything sugary is great. So yeah, an orange. What are they like? Real? Yeah, not as good as an orange though. Oranges, I think, are easy peelers at the minute are phenomenal. By the way, they're very much in season. So yeah, a little bit of sugar. Sugar's good. Again, it's all fuel. Don't be scared of any type of food. It's all fuel and it all needs to be taken in moderation. So natural sugars are obviously always going to be better, like Kelly said. Your oranges. I can't think of any other real sugary, like, agree. Yeah, Greek yogurt's really good. Smooth and easy. Yeah. Strawberries, like berries and things. Grapes. Yeah, just little hits of sugar. Just perk you up a bit. Okay. Honey's good. Yeah, again, pretty natural. Well, again, the most. Yeah. What was that, darling? What did you want? Yeah. You're blocking our eye contact. So yeah, around your session is where we want to be mainly focusing. This is all specific to you, and we kind of have to balance what we can track versus what we can see. So there will, again, become a point where actually your scale weight doesn't really change. And for a lot of you, you'll be at your pretty standard weight, and you've probably been a very similar weight for a very long time. And as you build muscle takes up less space, it's more dense, but it doesn't weigh more because a kilo is a kilo, but it takes up less space. So when you're looking at yourself, you will be more trim. However, the scale weight might not change, okay? And it's something that you, again, have to balance. A lot of people, when they don't fuel correctly and they go, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stick myself on 1,100 calories a day and I'll be all right. But they're already pretty lean, and all that happens over that time is their body goes, oh God, I need some fuel. I need a source of something to get me moving. Oh, that muscle, got loads of that. And it just cuts away at their muscle. They don't get any leaner because they're in such a severe deficit. Anytime you're in a deficit, you want to work out your maintenance calories and probably not go much more than 10, 15% below that, okay, depending on how big or small you are. You don't want these huge cuts because all your body does is it goes into fight or flight mode. Yeah, at the end of the day, we are, despite what a lot of us think, just animals. And we used to just roam around the savannas and eat when we could. However, we are now in a very lucky position that meal deals exist. And we can go to the shops, and there is a shop on every corner, and they all stock Galaxy bars. And they're delicious. And your body doesn't have to fight for them anymore. Your body doesn't have to go, oh, I really need to find that. Because we've always got a source of food. And when your body knows that you've got food coming in, it preferences more getting rid of the fat. Because you don't need it. We don't hibernate anymore. We never hibernated. We don't have to go through harsh winters. We don't have to try and build fat up to keep ourselves warm. We've got central heating, and we live this very nice life whereby we have food when we need it. We have water when we need it. So your body, when you go into that severe starvation, panics and goes, I'm going to keep all of this. And fat is really good because it's so dense. It's got so much nutrients in it that your body just goes, I'm going to keep all of this because it keeps me warm and I can chip into it when I need it. However, if you're fueling all the time, you can then slowly just whittle away at that fat because your body's going, actually, I don't need these sources. It seems like I'm in a pretty good place here. This savanna's got ample elks, lots of water, and you can kind of just chip away at that fat loss. And that's why it's a long-term goal. When you do these severe cuts, it works for a really short amount of time, 4 to 6 weeks, which is why you see that quick drop off, and then it just flatlines. Okay, it just flatlines. So 4 to 6 weeks. By the end of this, we want you to try and have the knowledge to then put forward and just kind of build your meal plan around your training and then go from there. And it is all specific to you. It is not going to be one size fits all. It is just going to be see what works for you guys. And I know a lot of you have been training a really long time and have been on this journey for a very long time. But it's trial and error, seeing what works for you, seeing what you can make stick. So, number one, they're not in priority order. However, I would put consistency above everything else. Your consistency is the only thing that is going to see lasting results. Because I can almost guarantee Monday to Friday, all of you, if you work a 9 to 5, you always, everyone comes in and goes, I'm really good during the week. And then I wait for that nice little sting at the end. But then the weekend comes around and that is all of your calorie deficit that you've worked for gone. It does not take many glasses of wine, many Dominoes, many burgers to completely butcher all that hard work you did in the week. And a lot of people look at their day and think, I'm in a 200 calorie deficit. Say 10% deficit, 2,000 calories a day, 10% down to 1,800. I've hit 1,800 every single day. It only takes another 200 a day, another 1,000 calories to wipe out your whole deficit. And for context, 1,000 calories is one pretty ample meal out for starters, mains and desserts with a beer. And for your whole week, you've wiped out your deficit. And unfortunately, we don't work on a 24-hour clock. You can't lock in your day's deficit. Yes, done one, done another one. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Nailed it. Oh, I've gone 500 over, 500 over. Oh, I'm not in a deficit anymore. And that's unfortunately how it works. You've got no biases. There's no letting off. There's no nice ways out. You've got that whole deficit is gone. You've got two options. Be more careful at the weekend. Or you then have to put yourself in more of a deficit during the week to then counterbalance your heavier weekends. So maybe you take another 100 calories off during the week, 1,700 calories Monday to Friday. You then give yourself another 500 calories to have at the weekend, 250 a day, which is more reasonable, right? And that is fine to do. So it is just working out and planning ahead what is going to happen. This is specifically for training. Where are your carbs coming from? Where's your energy source coming from? Are we going to be fueled for the session? But actually planning ahead. Bless you. Mike's birthday this weekend. How many slices of pizza did you have last night, Mike? Can we have a round of applause, Mike? But look, Mike is trains every day. Mike is a pro at this. Knows what he's doing. But my point is, if Mike wants, Mike, are you doing your Definite with Richie? No. Yeah, just a little one. So it's sustainable. Okay, tracking his calories, just over time, just being in a really small deficit and just kind of chipping away at that fat, slowly, slowly, slowly. Hello. Go for it.
I struggle. I know how many calories I need to take a day. I struggle to get to those calories because I don't eat that much normally.
Eat more, I'm afraid.
I need to eat more.
Yep.
That's where I struggle.
Yeah. I'm sure you will not mind me sharing this, but a lot of you will know Martin Stone. Big, very strong, ginger, hilarious. We love him to bits. He has gone, and I know he won't mind me sharing this. We chat about it all the time, chat about it in sessions. But he is currently 12 kilos down from last about 12 months probably. So he's just slowly going down. He hit a plateau for about 2 months. He went, Pat, mate, it's not going anywhere at, say, 108. And I said, all right, what we're going to do, we're going to give you an extra 300 calories a day, and I want you to hit that every single day. You're Jamie, hopefully. Oh, okay, we'll let him off. Morning, Sarah. I said to him, look, 300 calories a day, I'm going to put you up. And then his fat loss continued. He lost weight while on 300 more calories. And then it dropped down a bit, it then plateaued really quickly. It just dropped maybe half a kilo, but then stayed there. And he went, why'd that happen? I was like, well, because your body then refueled itself and then dropped down. So you need to eat more to go. And then we're back. Then I said, right, get rid of those 300 calories, can't have them anymore. And then he's back to a deficit again. And then it's dropped down again. So it's like a waterfall. It just cascades down, 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 down. And occasionally come to us and say, my weight loss has stopped. And I don't know why. And then we'll go, how many calories are you on? You might say 1,100. And we'll go, eat more. You might say 3,000 a day. And we'll go, you're eating too much, aren't you? So it is that balance, yeah? So you need to get to a point where you find out how many calories you should be eating a day and what sticks you on a flat line. Yeah? What keeps you where you are? And then we reduce from there. Yeah? So let's go add first, find out what doesn't add fat, and then go down. And the basis, for those of you that don't know, should always be protein. So every single meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, 3 sources of protein a day, aiming for between 30 and 40 grams minimum. For you bigger, stronger guys, we tend to look at about 50 to 60 in 3 courses a day. So aiming for around 150 to 180 is a really good start. Ladies, 120 to 150 is really good as well. Okay, that sort of range is where we want to aim. Okay. And again, it does depend on who you are, but if you build from protein, it tends to be pretty good. Your protein sources usually have a bit of fat, a little bit of carbs in them as well. And then you might pair it with your sweet potatoes, your rices, your wholemeal, your whole grain rices, your whole grain pastas, and then as much veg as you can consume. Veg is always a win. It's tasty. Fruit and veg, super low cal, fills you up. Not as good as chocolate or ice cream, but it's better for you. Okay? That one again, non-negotiable. 3 to 5 times a day. So if you're going to do 3, those portions need to be bigger. Or if you're not a big eater, and I know that there's some people that just say, I just don't like eating big meals. Unfortunately, you have to eat more meals. So breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. Or breakfast, snack, lunch, dinner, snack. Spread it out, little and often. Some people graze, they love to graze. Oh, I love a graze. Oh, I love just bored of stuff. Just take my time, just eat it all. Fine. At the end of the day, it's all calories, and there is no special way around this, is what we're trying to get at today. There is nothing fancy. It's just calories. It's just track what you put in and see what your weight does. Does it change? Do you drop? Do you go up? Do you go down? And then the point is, progress is slow, but it does last. So over time, over years, it does slowly cut down. And the goal is to have that natural, like, taper down. You might go through moments of Christmases where you think, oh, I've indulged. That's fine. Just get back to where you were, okay? Because your body it'll reset itself to a comfy point every time. If you eat a little bit more, your body will go, oh, I like this. And then you'll be able to eat more and you'll think, oh, I can keep eating. There will be times you will be hungry. You have to be hungry to be in a deficit. Just a little bit, okay? But start off small and then we can go through those bigger, like 10, 15% for a couple of weeks and then drop down as we get those really severe drops down. So what I'd like to know is what's currently working for you guys?
Can I just ask?
Go for it.
If you struggle to hit your protein quota
Mhm.
in your diet,
Mhm.
do you replace that with, like, top it up with shakes
Yes. Yes.
every day,
Yes.
regardless of training?
Yes. Protein, recovery. Your recovery days are as important as your training days. Protein is the building blocks of your muscles, so your body needs it to go from there. We wouldn't advise changing your calories per training day. We say try and find an amount of calories that fits, and for 90% of you, 95 probably, your training days and your rest days should be exactly the same. Unless you're doing marathon distance training, unless you're doing 2 sessions a day, which nobody is, unless you're doing super long sessions where you need to be fueling in between and fueling up afterwards, every single day should be the same, with the exception of weekends maybe, okay, a little bit lighter on the week, a little bit heavier at the weekend, just working out, I've got a meal this weekend, I need to be a little bit better in the week to then push forward and then enjoy my weekend. But yeah, a shakes every day is fine. Just to top up on that protein.
Can never get 100.
No.
That's what I'm really struggling with protein.
Are you vegetarian?
Pescatarian. So I do try as much fish as possible. Yeah.
Beans have got so much more than people think, like salads for lunch. They're like quinoas. Yeah, quinoas are really good.
Quinoa with black beans. I don't think my protein's high enough, but I have upped it and I put flax seeds, milled flax seeds on the cereal. I do eat chocolate and drink wine as well, but I like that caveat. Yeah, I do.
I do, but
I'll have the Farge, the FNG.
Oh, you've got 10 grams per 100 grams.
yeah,
Which means that's quite high. So
yeah.
you can get 30 grams in the morning just for breakfast.
Fire is good. Fire is very similar. Fire is the same. Yeah, yeah. 10 grams per. Yeah. It's nice. Is that the EC one? EC skier. Oh, it's phenomenal, isn't it? Has four. So the whole tub is 400 calories, 40 grams protein, I think, which is just spot on. So good. It's only a little tub. It's not. It's not. It's not like a kilo. Yeah. 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 Any? What's working for other people? So what's working around their training? What are people having before training? Andy, meal planning. Yeah, good. That's working though. Like Andy's. Yeah, meal planning ahead, essential. You've got log your food. Yeah, log it, weigh it. And I think with tracking, it's not necessarily the tracking that is the be all and end all. It's the knowledge of what you need and what each thing is. So many people think a couple of, like, even annoyingly, when you buy a pack of chicken breasts, you'll get probably like 4 or 5 really good ones. And then you get this like little slithery one on the side. And the same with like when you buy salmon. You'll get 2 really good fillets and then you get the rest. And then so many people will leave that last one and go, oh, that's a meal. But look back at yourself. And it is obvious to us as professionals. 100 grams of salmon versus 50 grams of salmon, there has half as much protein in that small portion. You have to have something else with it. Whether that's your beans, your taco beans, your black beans, your kidney beans, quinoa, any veg that you want to side it, just top up that protein source. Okay, and we're not saying you need to have 4 chicken breasts a day, and it is just find the sources. And I would encourage you to look and share between you what protein sources are good and easy to get at. Helen. Yeah. 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 Honestly,